Thank you, Grace. Good evening. Joining from US. I hope it's not very late for you.
Hi everyone, good morning.
That's our facilitator for the day, Satish Kolla. And he's in early as well. We wanted to be the first among everyone to join, but most of the audience beat us to it, Satish.
I know.
Yeah.
Good to see a lot of active participation already. Thanks everyone.
Yeah. Yes, different geographies, different companies, different backgrounds. The topic is such, isn't it, guys? OKRs, all the metrics that our companies, our managers, our directors, our stakeholders have been talking about. Measuring metrics, all this definitely counts. Awesome, Balakrishna. Good, Pawan. This is networking. Sharing LinkedIn ID so that you all can connect. You can talk about the session that has been happening today. Even after the session is over, maybe some takeaways as well. Go ahead, connect on LinkedIn, connect here. Steady stream of people joining in. I think we will have the best part exactly at 10. Satish, do we want to give a couple of minutes more for the folks to join?
Sure, Suma. Yeah, we have time.
Let me know when you're able to see my screen. You can unmute and talk. Anyone?
Yes, Kumar, we can.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, we can.
Thanks. We have 79 as of now. Let's see. We are at 10:01. Have been asked the organizers to wait a couple of minutes, and by the folks themselves who are struggling hard to get into the meeting. Okay, let's give them a minute or so. I'm more eager to start the session than the participants, but nevertheless, let me contain my enthusiasm. Meanwhile, guys, please go ahead, introduce yourself in the chat window, talk about where you're coming from, which organization, so that Satish and all of us can know you better. All right, then, shall we begin? Sohail, is the recording on?
Yeah, the recording is on.
Thank you. Good morning and a warm welcome to you, everyone. I'm Suma, one of the board volunteers, and I've been with the chapter since the last 7 years. And we have been facilitating several such interesting sessions over the years, and especially post-COVID when everything went into the digital mode or the online mode. And Satish, he has been one of our long-standing members and what do you say, a person who wears many hats. I think we can have a whole wardrobe of hats from him. He is an ICF certified coach, empowering individuals and leaders to achieve success. He's a member of PSAI, professional speaker as well, a business agility wizard award winner, and he has been facilitating the regional Scrum gatherings. He's an agile coach, and he has recently moved on from Teradata to Ivy Comtech, and he has been a regular facilitator with us. His earlier session was on Jira reporting that was very well received by the participants. And now, Satish, if I talk about you, this session will be about you, and I will keep talking. So, without much further ado, let me pass on it to Satish, and the topic for the day, the OKRs. Satish, over to you.
Thanks, Suma. Thanks everyone. I could see 101 folks joined already. Thanks for all your interest. We would like to keep it as an interactive session today. So to the possible extent, let's see how and where we can make use of this as a discussion rather than as a training session. I'm not a trainer, so I'm very bad at training. So let's make it as an interactive session and let's see how we can learn from each other as part of this measuring the progress using OKRs. So you can scan this QR code and you can connect to this so that we can make it as an interactive session. If not, I can share the link in the chat window as well. Just a minute. Yes. Okay. Yes. Thanks, Suma, for that wonderful introduction. And I'm skipping this slide. You covered everything. Okay. So let's get started. Are you using your OKRs already in your context? A simple yes or no? Yes. Wow. Wow, 61% already using OKR. So I have a lot to learn from you all folks as part of this session. So let's make use of this. And 28% no, and 14% or 13% first time hearing this. Fine. So let's collectively learn or get to know about OKRs and see how we can be effective once you are done with this session today. Okay, yes. The numbers are changing. 48%, yes. Okay, moving on. Just before going into the OKRs, let's discuss about what is the KPIs or the metrics you are using in your context. We are all from different backgrounds, different sectors, industries. So what is it you are measuring or you're tracking as part of your current organizational context or project, product? You can type in the answers. Okay, there are some coming in the chat. On-time delivery, first time, right? Number of errors. ROI, okay. SLS. Thanks, Rajesh, Venugopal, and Swaroop. Plan versus actual. Productivity, DORA metrics. Fix remediation gap. SLS, quality. Ticket count. Usage. Committed versus completed. Efficiency. Defect leakages, throughput, code quality. Say-do ratio, build restoration time. Oh, nice. Deployment frequency. Okay, code coverage, NPS, net promoter score, lead time versus cycle time. Good. Thanks. Injury-free workplace. Wow, this is interesting. With the current context, what's going on, we know. No need to discuss, but yes, injury-free workplace or healthy workplace, safe workplace. We can bring in different perspectives. Okay, automation coverage. Okay. Committed was customer satisfaction within defined contract. Okay. SLA is highlighted across both in the chart and the slide as well. So obviously we are all operational efficiency, cost of maintenance, new innovation ideas. Wow. CFD cumulative flow diagram, 360 degrees review. Wow, we have tons of metrics which we are already tracking, which we know. Compliance to regulations, that is more important. Scope delivered to the customer. Okay, yes. No escalations. Excellent. That is another interesting thing. CSAT, incident reduction rate. Okay. Defects density, SLA is productivity is highlighting. Okay, let's move on to, I know few participants are still typing. Let's try to move on. So to go through the today's agenda, we'll quickly discuss about OKRs. What is the OKRs? The history, a little bit of history about the OKRs. what is the objectives and what is the key results, and a little bit of hands-on activity. We are all here, so let's try to define our own OKRs and see, and we will have Q&A as well. And yeah, the OKRs references and materials which we all can share among ourselves. If in case you are already using and following referring, feel free to share in the chat window as well so that others can get benefit of it. So I will also share from my perspective. So let's get started. So anyone want to give a quick history of OKRs? The folks who mentioned that they're already using OKRs. If you're aware, just you can unmute and you can, or you can type in the chat window as well. Where or who started these OKRs? What happened to that 48% folks? Intel? Ahiraj, yes. Yes. We have a winner. Who started? Who initiated this concept of OKRs? Oh, thanks, Ravindranath. You're using it still time since 1985. Wow. Andy Grove. John Deere. Wow. We have two correct answers, both by Subramaniam and Suresh Gane. And we have Kahiraj, Intel. So, yes. So, we know the history. Andy Grove is the one who created this initially at Intel. So, the founder or initiator of this OKRs is Andy Grove, whereas John Deere is the one who made this more popular. So more than Andy Grove, we might have heard or we might be aware of the name John Deere for whenever we talk or refer about the OKRs. So once John Deere started learning or implementing this from Andy, so he started implementing it Google after Intel. Google is one of the organization which started making use of it, and they are still continue making use of it along with many other organizations like Netflix. And there are many NGOs, government organizations, even the startups. There are many organizations where right now they are making use of these OKRs. So making use of OKRs, knowing about OKRs is one thing. Having a clear understanding of why we are doing what we are doing and how to define OKRs, how to track it, how to measure the progress. That is what our intention of today's session. So what is the OKRs? So there are a few folks who haven't used it or who are hearing it for the first time. So to give a quick intro about it, OKR as two words, objectives. O stands for objectives. KR stands for key results. So OKR is a goal setting framework. So it can be used in any context. It can be a project, product, or a startup, or even a personal implementation, a personal perspective as well. We'll discuss those examples also. So, but ideally, it is mainly used or focused at the organizational level or as a leadership tool, or help the leaders understand how we are progressing, where are we currently versus what is it we are right now. So it helps us to define what we are doing it and how we want to do it. And there are many organizations, as I mentioned just now, there are many organizations across the organization. They are making use of these OKRs as a goal setting framework and tracking their progress as well. So OKRs in a pictorial way, in a different perspective. Objective is what we want to accomplish. So the first step in the OKR, O stands for objective. It is what we want to accomplish. That is what we mention or we define as an objective. And it should be, as mentioned on the slide, it should be significant, concrete, and action-oriented, and it should be inspirational. It should not be scary. It should not be, worrying the moment anyone at the organization start looking at the objective. Oh, do we need to achieve this? Is this what we are trying to achieve? No, it should be inspirational. It should be action-oriented, and it should give a clear context of what we are trying to achieve. So that is how we need to define the objective as a first step. Then coming to the key results, how do we know whether we met that objective or not? That is what the key results is, what we define, we talk or we link the key results for each and every objective. So once we start defining the objective, we need to define the respective key results for each and every objective. We will discuss that as well today, and we will define our own objectives and key results. So few more slides, we will go into that action mode. So how do we know whether we achieve that objective? Where are we currently? That is where the key results help us visualize, measure, and define the progress from the overall perspective. Right? We are good? Are you good till now? I could see like Venkatramana and Sujit mentioning about SMART goals. Sort of Sujit and Venkatramana. So when we say the key results, right? The key results should be SMART. When we say the key result, we'll look at the examples as well. The key results will be like specific. Key results should be measurable. Key results should be achievable, realistic, and time bound. So when we are defining the key results, we can make use of that SMART acronym, and that is one way to help us define effective key results. Key results and milestones are same. Let's take a look at it, Kiranmai. So will that be organization on team specific? We will come to that as well, Sujit. Okay. Are you good till now? Okay, thanks. So to start with, the Andy Grove, just now we discussed Andy Grove is the one who defined initially, who started. So to start with, it can be defined in a one single statement, like I will mention that objective as measured by the key results. There is a simple one single statement how we can start defining the OKRs. But eventually, as we go the iterative incremental improvements, so now majority of the cases, when we define in detail, the OKR might look like the objective defined, and key results. 4 to 5 key results or 3 to 5 key results might be defined per objective. Why and how, we will discuss in detail. Okay, so yes, this is a well-defined OKR. So taking one of the example, so the objective, as you can see here, attract younger, more diverse season ticket holders. So this is for one of the event happening in one of the locations. So they define the objective as we need to attract more diverse season ticket holders and younger season ticket holders. So there is an objective they have defined. So how do they know whether they achieved or whether they met that objective or not? So they define 4 key results for that. As you can see, KR1, 2, 3, 4. KR1, key result 1 is increase our $30 under 30 membership enrollment by 100%. So how do we know we met that objective? By tracking the membership enrollment and by measuring it by 100%. What is the current metric or current number of the membership enrollment versus once we complete the target objective, what is the current state? Current state versus the target or the future state. By measuring both, we will get to know whether we met that objective or not. Then the second key result is land mentions on accounts of 5 local Instagram influencers. We don't want the global folks. That location specific local Instagram influencers is what they have tracked or they have defined. So that is another way to attract more younger and the diverse season ticket holders. And get 25% response rate from a direct mail campaign to diverse zip codes. Zip code is like a pin code. So this is a US specific example. So that's why they have mentioned as a zip code. So the response rate when they are sending any direct mail should be 25% or more. That is what the third key result they have defined. And what is the fourth key result they have defined? Attract 75 non-members per month to live artist talks. They are talking about different perspectives of parameters. If you observe here, right? They're talking about membership enrollment. They're talking about social media marketing and influencing, and they're talking about the direct mails. They're talking about the live artist talks and the non-members as well. So if this is what is defined as an objective for one of the organization or enterprise, maybe let's suppose it is a startup or the event management startup or a enterprise, right? So they have defined this as their own objective with these 4 key results. How do they implement it? How do they achieve it? That's the next step. Right? Are we good till now? The example which we discussed. Any questions? Okay. So now, as you can see, if let's suppose this is the objective defined at a social media campaign or social media marketing enterprise, they have defined these 4 key results for this specific objective. So now the next step comes is how do they achieve it? That is where our projects, that is where our initiatives, that is where our epics or features or what other terminology we call from defining the requirements. Yeah, Manjit, we will discuss about that examples as well, right? So when we discuss about like these different things, so by taking these key results as a baseline, we will start defining our initiatives, projects, or maybe the scope for the release, upcoming releases, or each and everything will be taken from the key results and the objective as a baseline, and we will start defining it. Okay. Okay, so this is a personal example. So we will look at the OKR and benefits. We'll come to that, Krishna. So this is OKRs is not just for the organizations. It can be used for personal improvement as well. I use for my own personal, both professional and personal improvement or tracking perspective. So again, this is one of the example defined from the personal front. Run a 10K in under 50 minutes by June. So if you see the targets, the timelines, everything is defined in that objective. So what is the key results? 3 key results they have defined. Go for a run 3 times a week, at least for 30 minutes. We can't reach the 10K in under 50 minutes directly by June. So we need to start, what do you say? We need to start defining it, and we need to start implementing it, achieving it. Only then we will be able to see the results. Right. Then increase the distance of run by 1 mile every week. If you can see, it is like specific, measurable, and actionable. I will come to that questions. So the specific, measurable, actionable, and realistic and time bound. We are not reaching the 50 minutes 10K run just starting in the month of June itself. We are defining realistic goals, actionable goals, achievable goals, and inspirational goals as well. And increase the mile speed by 5 seconds every week. We are not trying to achieve 10K in 50 minutes just like that. We are trying to define reasonable goals or reasonable metrics or reasonable measures for us to achieve that. So the main thing, make sure it is realistic, aspirational, time bound, and it is action. It is action oriented, right? It should not be scary the moment you look at that key results or object to any point of time. Okay, so there are a couple of questions in the chat. So which role decides objectives and key results, and initiatives based on key results? So which role decides objectives and key results? Majority of the cases, it could be top-down approach. I will show one example. So the top-down approach is like at the organization level. There is no specific role who will take that ownership of defining the OKRs, but at the organization level, the leaders come together, the way how they define the vision, strategy, roadmap for the organization, maybe during the same discussion, or maybe as part of, by taking that as a baseline, we can define the OKRs at the organizational level, through which we will split that into the initiatives. So from the, once the objective is defined and once the key results are defined, by taking the key results as a baseline, we will start defining the initiatives or projects, from which that each initiative or each project, again, they can define their own OKRs. So if I go back to this previous thing, like these 4 key results might be handled by 4 different projects or 4 different modules. Because the first one we are talking about membership enrollment. Second one is talking about like social media marketing. Third one we are talking about like direct mail. Again, it might come under marketing itself, right? So then the fourth one we are talking about like talking to the direct live artists. So for these 4 key results might be defined as 4 different initiatives or different projects at the organizational level, and each project or each initiative, they might define their own scope of OKR. Now, if I have to achieve increase $30 under 30 membership enrollment by 100%, what is that we have to do to achieve that key result? What is the current state? What is the current functionality or current features or current concepts, which current offers or deals which we are, or current pricing? All those aspects will start coming into it. How we are offering for $30 under 30. How are we doing that marketing? How are we doing that? How are we reaching to those customers? How are we increasing? What is our targets? Each and everything will start coming up at that project or initiative level. So now we're all, most of us are like project or program managers or different roles. So as you can see, right? So the higher level implementation plan can be defined once we have these well-defined OKRs at the organization level. And if we can pass on these OKRs to our teams or to our vendors, if in case it is a vendor client engagement, or to our stakeholders, they also will get a clear clarity of what is it we are trying to achieve. Right. So that's the reason it is called as a goal setting framework. And it is clear, everyone at the organization will get a clarity the moment we define and we share, we pass on these OKRs across the organization. Hey, this is our vision, this is our strategy, and these are our OKRs for 2025. So, okay, so now by taking this, how do we achieve this? How do we reach that state? How do we, where are we currently? So what projects, what initiatives are required, or what improvements are required for addressing the gaps or filling the delta part? That is how, by defining the well-defined OKRs, it helps us to pass on this information to the projects, modules, or teams or programs, or even to the client stakeholders, and it helps us to reach our North Star goal. Yes, Shailendra, these key results could be objectives for next level groups or teams. Exactly, right? These key results will be set as a context to the next set of groups or teams, through which again they will define their own objectives or their own features, epics, or requirements, what are the terminology we call it our organization. Right. And Subhashish, I will share about one tool, how to maintain and track the OKRs. There are different ways to do that. I will discuss about it. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Ajinkya, for answering the questions. Anil, yes, our objective is at the 10,000 feet statement. Yes. And it is very high level goal. Exactly. But once we start defining that at the granular level, to the team level or to the project level, we will get more clarity on how we can define this space, how we can achieve this objective of attracting young, more diverse season tickets holders at the organization level. Thanks, Prachush. Thanks, Ajinkya, for answering the questions in the chat. Okay, yes. What if the mentioned key results are not enough to achieve the objective? Yes, we will discuss about that as well. And Krishna, Amara, Jira is one of the tool which can be used to define the goals or the OKRs at the team level or project level. But at the organization level, we have different tools. We will discuss about that. Okay. Okay. Yes. Now, moving on. Okay. Nagasai Kumar, what if the mentioned key results are not enough to achieve the objective? The key results which we are defining are not to achieve the objective, but to identify or to measure whether we achieve that objective or not. Right. So that's the reason, like, see, you might have defined only 3 objectives or 3 key results for an objective. That is fine. So we are not, what do you say? We are not saying that to achieve the objective. Achieve the objective, we can define multiple ways to know how we are progressing to achieve that objective. And will the objectives change based on key results? Might be, might not be, because the first step we are defining the objective, then we are defining key results by taking the objective as a baseline. So from that perspective, the objective will not change, Sujit, if it is a top-down approach. But if in case we are defining the key results first and then we are trying to define objective, the bottom-up approach, 90% it might not work. But if in case that is what we are doing, then the objectives might be defined based upon the key results, but it might not change, right? But this we will discuss when we start talking about the tracking the progress of it. Can there be scenarios where these key results should be completed only sequentially? Key results might be tracked in parallel, or key results might be done, what do you say, like in sequential. There could be both the cases, Kiran. So for example, out of these 4 key results, what if like the key result 3 is the first step, like direct mail, sending the direct mail is maybe one of the step through which we might be tracking the membership enrollment. And by doing that social media, Instagram influencers as second step, we might see the increase in the membership enrollment. So these key results also might be happening sequential or could be happening in parallel as well. So that is based upon how we implement, how we focus on achieving that key results. And we are talking about an organization. We are talking about like, so in this case, it is like an event, right? So for that event, we don't do the steps sequential. We will be doing the steps in parallel, like how we do in our project, right? So that one module, one team might be working on one module, the other team might be working on another module. We start focusing on the integration, doing the demos, getting the feedback. If you're talking about that the software examples or the references, right? So all these might be happening sequential or parallel as well. Majority of the cases, it might be happening parallel. Thanks, Krishna, for answering that question. Okay. Objective is like a vision, which is long-term. Yes. Objective is like our North Star goal. We can define quarterly objective. We can define a yearly objective. Most probably yearly could be more relevant, more realistic, because majority of the organizations, whether what of the domain industry we are, we still define the vision or the strategy yearly. Right? We will be doing that quarterly results or quarterly announcements, but still we might be the vision strategy at the organization level might be still defined at yearly timeline. So from that perspective, these OKRs also might be defined yearly, but measured continuously, tracked and measured continuously on a regular basis. Yes, key results is like a roadmap we create. Is it like we divide it in different quarters to achieve that vision? It might be different quarters, so it might be different modules or different projects or initiatives. which might be happening in parallel as well. Yes, Ajit. Okay, how the outcomes for key results measured at due date, just with yes or no? No, or subject to description, since key results are defined as quantitative most of the times. We will define the key results also in the numbers or the subjective. It is not just yes or no, right? I will show an example how we can measure the planned versus actual, or what is the current state versus what is the reach the future state. Then we can discuss more in detail. Can we break down yearly vision into quarterly? Yes, Pushpanjali. That's where this OKRs as a way or approach can help to achieve that in the quarterly timelines as well. In steel plants, we define yearly but measured half-yearly. Yes, Ravindra. Based upon the context, we might be measuring monthly, quarterly, or half-yearly, or the yearly is the not recommended approach, because towards the end of the year, it will be like measuring the progress of project. We don't know whether we met or not until we measure it. So if in case you have to do any adjustments or changes based upon how we are progressing, it might be the very late by that point of time. The org uses KPIs and OKRs. What's the difference? The KPIs, as we saw in the in the previous slide as a answer to the question, the KPIs might be common across the organizations or across the years, across the projects or initiatives, but the objectives and key results will keep on change. So this this event, the event which you're the example which you're discussing, this event is targeting the younger participants, maybe less than below 30 years old. So for that, the objective and key results is to this. What if the next one, we because Dasara is coming up, we want to attract the elderly folks, the senior citizens. So the objective and key results will be entirely different for that. The same social media campaign event or the enterprise, they might be defined their own different objective and key results to meet that objective. But the key performance indicators might be constant. Increasing the customer satisfaction, increasing the net promoter score, or meeting the SLAs or the timelines. Those are the KPIs which might be constant across whatever the project, whatever the industry or domain. But the objectives and key results will be keep on changing. So my organization itself, the objectives and key results for one project might be different from other project, might be different for two projects which I am handling at the same point of time. Someone has a question? Okay.
Satish, I have a question here.
Yes. Yes,
So
Subhashis.
when we are working in for say scaled agile or big projects, large solution or essential, like we have 10, 15 teams in an art. So we have a common objective, right? So maybe some fraction of that would be work will be done by different projects, but
Yes.
the objective would be for say like next gen for say some investment related work for a banking client we are doing, or we are trying to maybe in a telecom domain we are trying to have a digital presence, trying to sell our digital products, maybe the routers, internet, and things like that, right? So the high level objective will still remain the same, but when in an art like 10 or 12 teams which we are working, they'll be having a small fraction of the work will be splitted over to different teams. So accordingly, the objectives and key results will be set.
Yes. Yes, that's correct, Subhashis.
Hello, Satish. Very good morning.
Yes, Danya.
This is my question is with respect to you just mentioned that in your organization itself, the objectives or the key results vary from the project to project.
Yes.
Now, for a mid-senior level, how do you get the clarity about the objective for sure to the key results? How do you get the clarity of the key result? Who are the key persons or the stakeholders who can connect to understand the key results? and what is the approach we have to do it?
So if I got your question correctly, like who is the key stakeholders who will define the key results or understand the key results? Can you clarify
To
that?
make us understand, to make the employees or mid-senior, whoever it is, whoever is part of a organization or a project, right? So who are the people who will make us understand these objectives and key results? Of course, it will not be written wide. Like, I just wanted to understand what is the approach that can be applied to understand these objectives.
Okay, so they again, there is no specific definition of who should define the OKRs versus who should set the context to the of OKRs to the teams or the projects. So from that perspective, at the organization level, we need to identify who can help us, who can help define these OKRs versus who can set this as a context to the teams to get a more clarity, right? So in our organization, what we are doing is like we as a coaches help work with the program managers or the RTs or the engineering managers who are working on these initiatives, help them define these objectives along with the key results. So maybe we might be inviting the stakeholders like the program managers or the product owners or the architects or maybe some of the leads or the managers as well to help define these objectives and key results at the project or initiative level. Right. So once it is defined at the enterprise level, then it might be passed on to the respective teams by these stakeholders.
Okay, I get that answer, Satish. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so
I'm sorry, Satish, but can you
yes,
please repeat your last? There was some network disturbance. I was not able to hear that.
sure. So at our organization, we as a coaches work with the program managers, RTs, or the engineering managers or the leaders, help them understand what is the objectives and key results at the organizational level based upon the initiatives or based upon the strategic vision or the roadmap defined at the enterprise level, from which we will define the program or initiative level objectives and key results. And we will ask these stakeholders to pass on that objectives and key results to the teams. So we are not taking the ownership as a coaches, but we are making the leaders pass on that or set the context to the teams because they are the ones who is taking that accountability. Again, you got that question, how will you ensure accountability? The teams or the leaders who are defining these will or should take that accountability or ownership.
Mr. Satish, in
Yes.
our steel plants, what we do when we take up the projects which are mainly of construction of the construction, equipment erection, and commissioning of the equipment to produce steel. So we are adding some new units to the plant. The objective and KRs are for HODs, it is set by the CEO or project chief. He sets the objectives for KR for the HODs. And in turn, HODs, okay, that is helped by the HR department. HODs will split into different areas, managers. To, okay, you do this, this is your objective. This is, okay, organizational objective is this. But your objective or your KRs are this, like that. They distribute to the managers. And managers down the line, maybe assistant manager, deputy manager, or junior manager, they will distribute that in that. But one main point will be there, okay, objective, and meeting the objective with the safety parameters maintaining and environment parameters or requirements as per a statutory requirement. That is well defined, and then they split into different levels. It goes up to the junior manager, assistant manager, from CEO to up to that. That is the way we work in steel plants.
Thanks for that adding the points, Ravindranath. That definitely helps.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ravindranath. That was helpful.
Okay, and some of you asked about that the scale agile, just not to complicate it, but yes, if you can see the enterprise level, I mean, just now as Ravindranath was mentioning from the steel industry perspective, the industry or the organization enterprise level, OKRs will be defined first, which will be passed on to that the specific departments or specific release trains or specific entities within the organization, for which again they will define their own OKRs. And KPIs is, again, as I mentioned, KPIs is common or could be constant across the industries. That SLAs or the committed versus completed ratio. These KPIs, the numbers might be different, but what is the key performance indicator might be common, might be constant across the industries, across the organizations. So the KPIs might be constant, but the OKRs will be keep on evolving or keep on changing in the sense, not during the implementation. Once we are done with this specific initiative, for the next initiative, we will define new OKRs. So that's what when I mentioned change in the OKRs will not change once it is defined, but once it is completed, the next year or the next initiative, we will define next new set of OKRs. Again, we will define new set of OKRs. That's how we will start bringing up the new objectives and key results on a timely basis.
So Satish, can I understand in this way? Like to achieve KPIs, we have OKRs?
Maybe reverse. How do we know whether we met that OKRs or not? By tracking using the KPIs.
Okay. Could you elaborate if you would mind?
Okay.
I'm a little confused with that part.
Nothing to worry. Nothing to worry. See, the objective, the output focused OKR versus outcome focused OKRs. Yeah, we will talk about the outcome focused. Right? Achieve a dominant position within the autonomous delivery market. That is the OKR objective. The key result: increase serviceable market to 75% within 18 months. That is the one of the key result. Increase net promoter score from 35 to 60 is another key result. So as our key performance indicator, the net promoter score, we might be tracking continuously. Right? Irrespective of the initiative, irrespective of the projects we are doing, we will be constantly, continuously monitoring the net promoter score or the number of customers, if new subscriptions or the retention rate, the SLAs, everything irrespective of the initiatives. So the key KPIs might be constant at the organization level once we define. But the objectives and key results, every new initiative, we will define new objectives and new key results. Does it clarify your question, Pratik? Is it confusing too much? Okay.
Hi, Satish. Can you hear me?
Can I
Yes.
say something on
Yes.
this?
So,
Can I say something?
Devajyoti, just a minute. Ravindranath want to add a point. Yes, Ravindranath, please.
Here you mentioned 2 points: output focused OKR, outcome focused OKR. I can relate to the steel plant projects. This outcome focused OKR, we define it normally for AGMs, assistant general manager and above. These points, outcome, finally, what is it's coming.
Exactly.
And output focused OKR, we give it to normally to manager and below, where they are on the front line and they totally concentrate on giving the output and show the results to their bosses, HODs, like that. So this way I can correlate what is we do in the steel plants.
Sure. Thanks.
Because
Thanks
it is a large project. For example, steel melt shop construction, which is about 6 million ton steel melt shop construction, which I headed that 2,500 crore project. It takes about 36 months to 30 months. So that type of things, we do it every year, and we do outcome to the seniors and output for the junior level, manager and level.
Thank you. Yes, thanks for that. Devajyoti?
Yes, so there is only one confusion. I make it little bit more over here. So there is three things today we are discussing. Number one is definitely the OKR. Number two is KRA, and number three is KPI. Now these three things are complementary framework that I understood. But could
Yes.
you please give me what is the distinction between these three frameworks and where we can use this? One is definitely for the personal level, one is for the organization level, or one is for the department level. So could you please just to enlighten me on these three things?
Sure. So the KPIs, again, maybe let me rephrase my statement or sentence. The objectives and key results can be top down, like at the organization level we define, then it will go to the respective departments, respective modules, respective projects, and then they can start defining again their own OKRs. Again, their own OKRs in the sense by taking the subset. Let's suppose we are achieving, I'm taking this example, increasing serviceable market to 75% within 18 months. So let's suppose our project is focusing on achieving this key result. We will define our own objective and key result, like how we can increase the serviceable market by 75%. What is our objective or what is our initiative? How we can achieve that 75% increase? We at the project or initiative level, we can again, we will take that one statement and we will define our own initiative, our own objectives and key results, and we will implement it. For that, to track, we are using the KPIs, key performance indicators, for multiple things. Not KPIs is like the service level agreements, defect density ratio, as some of you mentioned, or the commitments to the customer, net promoter score, increasing the what to say, the what else are there? So there are different KPIs, right? So these can be defined for all the projects, but the KPIs will be different to that of OKRs.
Okay, understood.
Right? The KPIs,
Okay.
see, when you answer in the previous, if you go back to this, yes, see, here is, okay, maybe it got clear, don't know. Okay. But see, we defined a lot of different examples of metrics which are used across the projects, right? Those could be common across the projects or across the organizations as well. The net promoter score, any organization you go, that will be a common KPI.
Understood.
Right? But the objective and the key result within our organization itself, we might be having 4 or 5 objectives. And the key results for each objective again will be different. So if the net promoter score as a metric or KPI is constant, it will be tracked irrespective of what are the initiative we are doing it. Right? A simple example, like a PMI team is doing these webinars. So one of the KPI they might be having is like number of participants attending the session, the feedback coming for the session. These might be the number of sessions conducted per quarter or per year. So these might be the KPIs. Irrespective of the session, irrespective of the speaker, whether it is a tool set techniques or any other industry case study or anything, these KPIs will be constant. Right? The same KPIs can be used by other institutes as well. Like Scrum Alliance will be doing their webinars. They also will be having the same KPIs.
Makes sense.
Right? Does it clarify now? The KPIs?
Yes.
So the OKRs will be context specific. So for this specific session, for the tools and techniques, the objective is to ensure all the participants get a clarity on what is the objective and key result and how we can make use of it in our organization. There is an objective. How we can define the key results? Yes. Clarifying the questions during the session and making sure sharing the reference materials or examples and doing a hands-on activity. These could be our key results defined for this objective.
Perfect.
Does this clarify?
One question from our end. Excuse me,
Sunil.
Satish.
Yes,
Yeah,
Sunil, please.
Just want to clarify. This is first time I am also hearing, because normally KRA will be defining every financial year, or starting from financial year to the managers by their RMs, and will be dividing into their teams. And so KRA, depend upon the KRA only we are working now for the entire year. So that KRA also we are defining into how much percentage for the business achievement, how many, because the value oriented. So my question is that how much differentiate from that one and this one, because this is the terminology I am also new. That is why just give some.
So once we have the KRAs, instead of KRAs, if we can have that OKRs, we can tag the 3-4 KRAs into one specific objective. If you are doing the bottom up, if you already have the KRAs, you can define one objective and group them together and make it like, okay, so this is the objective, how we achieve it using these KRAs. Then we can start measuring and we can start focusing on implementing that part.
Okay, thanks.
Satish, can you please validate my understanding? What I'm thinking is like, every company will have a vision, and then that vision is converted into OKRs for different departments. So these OKRs are different at different department levels, which also can boil into at a program level. And then to track these things, we use KPIs, and these KPIs can be at an organization level, or at a program level, or even at a project level. Is my understanding correct?
Almost majority of it is correct. One small change or one small addition to that is like, when we define the objectives at the organization level, that might be at the organization level, that might not be defined at each and every department level.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So here again, the reason I took this example is like, we are having different departments. So get 25% response rate from direct mail campaign to diverse zip codes. That is from the marketing team. Result.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
Increase our $30 under 30 membership enrollment by 100% could be from our sales team. Right? And land mentions on accounts of 5 local Instagram influencers could be that social media campaigning team. So once we define that objective at the organization level, each department now they will start picking up. So they attract 75 non-members per month. This might be for a HR team. They are the one who need to have an interaction with these live artists. They need to get them on board to the talks and all those things, right? So one single objective, again, at organization level, we can define 3-4 objectives. And like as Ajinkya was mentioning, it is like a North Star goal for the organization. This is our strategy. This is our roadmap. This is our vision. Once we define that, we can define the key results, and that's where each initiative or each department will start picking up. Okay, now that we will pick it up and we will focus on achieving this. Thanks, Vivek.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes. So, okay. There are 3 types of OKRs. Committed, which is like, we know we can achieve for sure, or we need to achieve for sure. There is aspirational. Aspirational could be like, we know it is like a stretch objective, or the safe scale agile perspective, uncommitted objective. We want to, but we might not be, or we are not sure whether we can achieve it or not. So that's what we can define as a aspirational. So majority of the cases, the 2 objectives or 2 types of OKRs, committed and aspirational, these are the 2 which are most commonly used at the organization level. Learning, it is like for the learning goals, for the improvements, or how we can bring up that learning for the next cycle. It is like improvement aspects or bridging the gap. That is what we can define a 3rd type of learning OKR. So there are 4 steps to define OKRs. The first step is identify the priorities as an organization. What is it we would like to achieve? What is our vision? What is our North Star goal? First step is to identify the priority. Then define your objective. Once we understand that priorities or the goals or the North Star thing, then we need to define the objective. Once that objective is defined, that's when we need to start defining the key results. And if required, we can have the stretch goals or the aspirational OKRs as well, if required at the organization level. So these are the 4 steps which we typically use to define the OKRs. Okay, so shall we do a quick exercise of how we can define your own OKRs? Now that we discussed about it, try to define your own objective. It could be personal, professional, no need to mention any names or anything. Let's start defining your own OKR. It could be personal, it could be professional, or it could be your project specific. Just define your objective and try to define 2-3 key results. It should be specific, measurable, with the time bound and actionable. And we can do some voting as well to see. It's not a competition as such, but just to see how we defined the OKRs and what could be the best example or reference OKRs. You can start doing it. You have some time, you can do that. Sure, Ravindranath. Krishna, it's up to you. You can even define for your own perspective as well, or you can type in the chat window or in the tool. AHT target of 70 seconds. Have a peaceful retirement. Wow. Specific area of improvement to focus on. To get 5 certification in 2 years. Nice, nice. To become SME in PM roles up to the market. Minimal employee burnout. To start a business. Okay. Wow. Increase team throughput by 20% by reducing bottlenecks in the value stream. Reduce the lead time from concept to release by 25% through better prioritization and workflow optimization. Get more happy requesters. Be financially independent. Ensure timely delivery of high quality software projects. Improve development team efficiency and productivity. Enhance cross-functional collaboration, communication, optimize resource utilization, budget management. Thanks, Devjyoti. Escalation handling, 0 critical. Okay. Mohammed mentioned personal thing to achieve or weight loss. Choose for routine, register for it, perform it, achieve for it. Oh. Oh, wow. We could see some perfect examples also coming up. Another couple of minutes, we will start voting. Okay, increase partner sales in APAC by at least 30% in this financial year. Excellent, excellent, Ravikiran. Progress to next level position in the organization. Nice personal objective, Shailendra. Increase collaboration frequency between product design and development teams by scheduling bi-weekly alignments. Okay. Okay, nice. Become a PM in next 6 months. Increase internal customer service level. Okay, nice. Okay, yes. Another minute, we will start voting and we will see how we can see that the actual effectiveness of defining these objectives and key results.
Satish, Arun here. Could you please give any quick example in real-time agile program using with any defined OKRs?
There are many examples, Arun. I will share the links also. This is whatmatters.com is one of the website which has all the information, including a course, OKRs 101, the stories, case studies, examples, the resources, and different different industry wide as well, right? So the engineering perspective, if we talk, where is it? Yes, see the Titan funnel to achieve 2000 software subscriptions per month based on the site traffic. Enable every worker to make decisions based on live data. Right? So there are different industry specific examples as well. I will share these links so you all can take a look at it, and if required, we can discuss offline as well. And there are personal OKRs examples as well. Break the record submitting Mount Manaslu safely this year. Yes, some of you defined your personal OKRs. Yes, become recognized as a thought leader in my field. Yes, there is another OKR, right? And this is this example I took in the discussion, right? Okay. Does it answer your question, Arun?
Yeah. So I will just go through that and really.
Yes, I will share the links. You can go to that. Okay, now it's time for voting. To know that we have all the OKRs available, visible to you. Quickly take a look at it and vote what, as per you, looks like a effective OKR. It is open for everyone and it is anonymous, so we won't get to know who voted for what. Feel free to vote. Nice, Ravindranath. We have few OKRs defined in the chart window as well. We can take a look at it. Improving health of both of us, motivating some to buy house in Germany, acquiring PMICP certification. Okay, nice. We could see some winners coming up. Yes. One more minute or a couple of minutes. Thanks, Sunil. Thanks for your message. How to access this screen? Vivek, once we are done with this session, I will export this as a PDF and I will share with all of you along with the references, the links of the websites which we are using. Okay, we are done. Let's take a look at the results. Okay. Wow, we have a winner here with 14 votes. Of course, just considering the time perspective, get AI into organizational operations. That is the objective which is defined. The key results, the first key result, budget planning. The key result 2, what are the requirements to get AI into the organization? And key result 3, how do we do it? Okay, nice. The second is a personal objective, maintain healthy lifestyle while working in corporate sector. Excellent with the current context going on. So what's the key results defined? Physical health, increase the frequency of your workouts or go for a run more often. Another thing, personal development, read more books, attend workshops or meditate. And the relationship goals as well, spend more time with family and friends. Mindfulness, practice meditation, cultivate mindfulness. Okay. Learning, nice. Third one, increase NPS from 6.5 to 7 at organization level, maintain sonar code coverage above 90% at account level. Now, if you can see, the KPIs which you are tracking are coming into the form of key results, which we are tracking, right? The another one, increase overall well-being, another personal objective. Learn and practice mental well-being. Learn and practice nutritional eating habits. Plan my day effectively. Wow, excellent. Attend 60% of items by lunch. End of the day review, not have more than 2 backlog for next day. Excellent, excellent. So if you observe, these are all like, it is not just the leader or anything, but it is to check how much we understood, how we define the objective, and how we can tag the key results from that objective perspective. So that's the reason we did this exercise, right? Okay, yes, we have few more things, but I will share all this exporting into a PDF. You can take a look at this. And what's next? Yes. So we discussed a little bit about it, but again, to go more detail into it, Jack is a CEO. The picture might not be clear because it is taken from the internet. So Jack, as a CEO, he defined one objective of growth. Make it easy for the right customers to buy and hard for them to leave. That is the objective defined at the CEO level, for which they have defined the key results. From that, growth is taken as one of the initiative by the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, bring in the right customers, from which the head of growth took, we shape the conversation for customers and prospects. So as you can see, this is how the top-down, or this is how the interlink connection between that. There could be 4 or 5 objectives defined at the organization level, from which for one of the objective, it might be taken down for your department or for your project or for your initiative. So at the organization level, we might be having 4 or 5 objectives. We might be working on one of the objective. Like suppose I'm Henry. I'm focusing on this growth related objective. There are few more other objectives which other departments or other folks might be working on it or might be contributing to that objectives, right? So this is how, like, and as you can see, the numbers, it is not the yes or no, whether we met or not. It is all the numbers, how we track, how we measure the objective and key result. That's the reason the key result should be measurable, right? So one of you mentioned like the increase in net promoter score by from 6.5 to 7%, and that is measurable. The current state is 6.5. The future target state is 7. So when we do the measurement during the quarter or during the month, we will get to know what is the net promoter score. Is it 6.5 or is it 7? Is the midway, or is less than 6.5 or more than 7? Where are we? What is that happening by implementing the key results, whatever we define, or the initiatives or projects, whatever we define? So that is the reason the measuring the objectives and key results, we need to do it either monthly or quarterly, and we need to evaluate and we need to refine and revise the initiatives or the requirements of the projects which we are working upon. Right? Are you good? Okay, I will share this, the examples and references. The OKR cycle is what I want to discuss. We discussed about it, like the annual OKRs. Yes, majority of the cases it might be annual. Once a year we define that OKRs. So what we do is, like, by taking the previous year Q4 evaluation, right? If you're starting from the scratch, you might take the previous Q4, previous year, previous Q4 year. I mean, the Q quarterly results or the KPIs or the metrics which you're tracking, define and finalize the OKRs, and then pass on that to the respective departments or the programs or the release trains or value streams, what are the terminology we are calling at the organization level, and then finalize how we want to achieve. You can, one of you asked a question, can we split that yearly objective into quarterly? Yes, we can definitely do that. What is it we can achieve? What is our objective to achieve within the current quarter? That is what indirectly the scale agile is also referring to when you say the quarterly PI or 6 sprints PI planning interval, right? So what is it we can achieve within the current quarter or current PI? We can define that as the objective and we can define the key results. And obviously we will start measuring the progress, how we are doing it and how we do that. And there, those we can define even the team level. And in some of our instances, we are even having a individual OKRs. If I am playing so-and-so role, what is that my objectives, which is indirectly contributing back to this. If I'm this individual, how is my key results, how is my objective contributing to achieve this CV level OKR? We can even define and we can even track at that perspective, right? So I don't have a, what do you say, the software which can be used. I tried to do the demo version, somehow it didn't work out. So I will share this link also. The profit.co is one of the organization, one of the tool which can help to define the and track the OKRs. I haven't used it, so I'm not promoting it, but this is one of the software which can be used to track the OKRs. So as you can see on the slide, we can see the create the objective and we can even define the date. What is the visibility of this objective and how are we defining the OKRs? As you can see, organization level, the department level OKRs and the individual level OKRs, in the time period, everything can be defined within this, and we can define the key result. What is how we want to track in the form of a percentage, in the form of a milestone, in the form of whether it is a task, or in the increase or decrease in the KPI, or in the control the KPI. How we want to track, how we want to define the key results, we can define it. And just now, as we discussed, the enterprise level to the department level to the project level to the individual level, it can be contributing and it can be cascaded top down and bottom up as well. Can we do anything in Jira? Yes, Ajit. There is a small thing which Jira defined at the goals. Let me try to bring up that thing. But otherwise, this is how we can see how we are doing it using this tool. Okay. Let me quickly bring that Atlassian thing. You can see. Microsoft 365 should have come up with Viva goals. Yes, thanks, Ajinkya. Airfocus.com is good to do. Yes, thanks for that. And yes, this is the Jira. Recently, Jira Cloud. I'm not sure about the server or the data center, but Jira Cloud here, if you can see goals, what they have defined new functionality. So create a goal once and use it everywhere. Share the progress. Use the goal framework from OKRs to KPIs. This is what you can use within the Jira as well. If in case your organization is using Jira, once this objective is defined, we can tag that epic or that user story or what are the features to to that respective goal. So indirectly, the progress completion of that will be coming up, but not the result. Another important aspect is like, how do we know whether we achieved that key result or not? We might not be getting that exact result directly using any of these tools. We may have to measure it. We may have to track it, and we have to pass on that as an input. Where can we find it in Jira? Yes. Okay. Cheers. Okay. Okay. Yes. Measure what matters. That is what the book written by John Deere. And I will share this link also. You can do that. And
Satish, for Jira, right, tagging the OKRs, we have used one tool called as Dragon Boat.
Dragon Boat. Okay.
So it was effectively able to like we had a link of features from Jira to that Dragon Boat tool. So the both were integrated, and it was like qualitative, quantitative, all the metrics as we were able to get it.
Is it Dragon Boat or Dragon Boat?
Boat.
BO8. Boat. Dragon Boat.
BOAT.
Okay. BOAT, Product Operations Platform. We used another tool called as AHA. Let me try to bring that also. Yes, value roadmap. So in my previous engagement, we use this AHA as one of the tool. So where we define the strategic goals and the roadmap and everything. So this is another tool which we used in our organization. So the roadmap will be coming up, and then we can link the strategy, the work, the initiatives which we define, everything, and the scorecard, the product level scorecard, everything can be tracked using this tool. Again, this is a licensed tool. So the Dragon Boat. So these are the different tools which can be used to define. It's not just the OKRs. It is to get everything done using these tools. Right. So as you can see on the strategic outcome, the portfolio road mapping, and this is what this tool can be used. Thanks for that information. Okay. Yes. So how are we doing? Are we good?
Suresh, Vardhan here.
Yes, Vardhan. Yes.
So when we say we have OKR, right? Let's say the CEO level has the OKR, objective and key results. Can we say the next level would take the key result as their objective?
Yes.
Or it need not be the same. I mean,
mostly it will be. See, like let me take one example here. Maybe we'll take a company-wide as example. Okay. See, reach meaningful scale by achieving 5,000 software subscriptions per month. Let's suppose this is our objective, right? So 100K site visitors per month via technical and non-technical SEO. So this is the key result, one of the key results for this objective. So for that, we will take this as an initiative and we'll say, okay, how do we achieve 1,000K site visitors per month? Right? So we will start taking that key result as a base and we'll start focusing on how we can achieve that. What initiatives we want to do or what functionalities we need to improve. We already have the website. We need to improve. We need to achieve that 1,000K site visitors per month. So right now it could be 500K site visitors. Sorry, maybe 50K. So we are targeting to achieve 100K site visitors per month. So what is the current functionality versus what is the improvements we need to bring to achieve that 100K visitors per month.
Okay, got it. And
right?
subsequently, after the KR objective is taken, each KR is converted into an objective for one particular team. And then the key results, whatever we are measuring those KPIs, right? Like we'll be measuring how many people are logging in or how many per month are logging in. These are my KPIs, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Whatever I am measuring is my KPI and okay.
Yeah. And some could be common. Like not every key result will be done by one initiative or one department. For example, like net promoter score above 90. So that can be a common for all the departments, right? So
teams can pick up the same
multiple teams can do that. So then in that case, each team will say that, okay, as a marketing team, we can do this initiative or we can do this marketing campaign to improve net promoter score by 5% from our side. So as a sales team, we can do this by improving net promoter score by 10%. So each department or each team might start contributing to one key result as well. Even that is possible.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Satish.
Sure. Okay, so one of you asked, out of these, what could be a best, I mean, as per me, again, I'm not perfect in this, but if we look at these examples, budget planning. So this increased net promoter score from 6.5 to 7 at the organization level and maintain Sonar code. So this is one of the best way to define the key results. Objective is missing here. And the second thing is like, this is more generic if you observe, right? See, read more books, how many books, or attend workshops, how many workshops, or meditate, how much time, or like increase the frequency of your workouts or go for a run more often. This is looking more generic. More often is like, if I go once a week, I will still say, hey, I'm going more often compared to last year if I have to measure. So we need to define that specific metrics, right? So spend more time with family. If I spend 5 minutes today and 6 minutes tomorrow, can I say I spend more time? No, right? So that is where like defining with the specific measurable and the key action oriented can help to get these things. Right? Are we good? Any specific questions? Okay, we answered the questions already in the chat and in the discussion. So that brings us to the end of session. Of course, it is just the beginning. There is tons of, it's an ocean, as you can see, the objectives and key results. So what I will do is like, I will share this website. Website name is simple, whatmatters.com. Simple, right? So go and you can even go to these objectives. They have defined the videos, right? How do we define the objectives and key results. Everything is there. And they have defined the different customer stories, the examples and resources which we are talking about, right? Everything is there on this website. So start going through different examples, different industry-wide examples. And if we scroll down, yes, the frequently asked questions, all the pointers which we discussed are already here. How many OKRs should have? What are the OKRs? What are the foundations of successful OKRs? 4 mistakes to avoid, FAQs about OKRs. Everything is there in this website, right? And how to implement, what are the common mistakes, and how to bring that OKRs into action, right? And growing OKR as a culture, right? All these aspects and departmental OKRs for personal life goals. Lot of huge tons of information is there on this one single website, whatmatters.com. And the beauty of it is open source. No need to do any purchase. You can directly go and start referring, start going through it, and start getting benefit of this. Okay, yes. Let me type that website names, whatmatters.com, and let me share this. Hi.
This is Rajesh.
Hi,
So,
Rajesh.
in the current world where we see a lot of development, right? So, for example, we see a lot of product companies are when you do some R&D activities, right? Say, for example, I don't know what is the objectives, clear objectives sometimes when you do some development, because no, we observe that from the market something can be coming up in between. Maybe when you plan for 1 year or 6 months of duration, still we see something is coming in the market, and when you do your R&D activities or something, can you highlight me how you plan for R&D activities, especially for R&D activities where my team or organization itself is not aware of it? Say, for example, if I say 100 million data, maybe in the next 3 months I may get 1,000 millions of data, right? Maybe there is another technology which is coming up, which can handle in better way of performance.
So when we say R&D, first step, as I mentioned, the 4 steps, right? So first step is to understand what is that we want to achieve as part of our R&D activities, right? Then what is our target? What is it by doing this R&D research and department R&D? So what we are targeting to achieve? What is our goal? By taking that as a base, we can define the objectives, Ravi. And then by taking that as a baseline, we can start defining the key results.
Okay.
Right.
But
So,
that doesn't get that measurable, right? How do you measure it? That is where I'm more concerned, because now when you say product development, if I say even if I started developing something, I know what is to achieve. For example, I want to do a transaction for 100 million requests for less than 2 hours as well. Now in between, I'm trying to achieve this in the market, or my team is working on it, and then suddenly there is another tool which is coming in the market which can be performed far better than that. Assume it in 1 hour. Then my measure, whatever I measure doesn't make any sense to the market, or it doesn't give any return of value.
Yes. So in that case, like, we will stop working on it, right? See, when you say you got a new tool which can help more effectively compared to the current tool, so we will stop that as a project or as a research, and we'll start making use of the other tool, right? So in that case, that objective itself will get closed there, whether we achieve that results or not.
Satish, I want to add one point here.
Sure.
With respect to that. So in this R&D teams, these OKRs are dynamic and keep evolving based on the current key results outcome.
Yes.
If I understand correct. So as that objective was going to be end, why? Because they already reached some extent of performance, example. So they identify another tool by the innovation or doing some analysis. Then the objective again evolve within a new target where the result will be revised. So in this way, it's like keep evolving in the R&D field. The OKRs are. There will be a short life cycle for that OKRs in every time. So in that way, at least we can map our objectives and work it out on the key results. We are challenging our results every time to get the more better results. Yeah. So that's my understanding.
I agree to your point. Even I can add one more point here in that case.
Sure.
Maybe it is again cost based, right? I'm not sure what is the other project is giving you. I mean, a subscription or whatever it is. If it is costing you more compared to my tool or our tool, whatever, then that is also one of the criteria where you have to consider it. Say, for example, if the value is maybe greater than $10 per hour, then definitely it is going to help my tool better than other tools if the time span is only half an hour difference. But I just would like to know how we can plan in advance for. I mean, my question was more about OKRs with respect to measurables, and yeah, I understand the key objectives. Thank you, Satish.
Sure, thanks. Again, as I mentioned, like this is just a starting point. We are just touched one tip of the OKRs. It is like a huge ocean. Start going to that website, and maybe we can discuss offline as well if anything specific is required to be discussed from your perspective.
Satish, just one more question, if it's okay. I think we are
Sure.
past.
Sure. I'm fine.
Yeah, thank you. So, like the other guy, Ravindranath from Steel Plant, right? He was mentioning that it was started way back in 1980s or somewhere, right? They are using this. I think this objective and key result thing is there from quite a while,
Yes.
many years back. Why is this getting highlighted right? Like, why not earlier? Because did we pick it up from the other industries into software? Is that why it is getting highlighted? Or
if we observe, software is the late entry in all aspects. Right? So the industry, the manufacturing, retail, all these industries are there. The telecom, automobile, insurance, healthcare, these industries are there from the beginning. The software is the late entry in every aspect, not just the OKRs, right? So including agile, or if we talk about that, right? So that is where, so the thing is, like, as we start having this more exposure, again, thanks to COVID, earlier we used to do all in-person sessions. Now we are doing all virtual. Because of virtual, we are getting more information, more insights from across the world. We are getting the more visibility on all these best practices.
Right.
That's why we are getting more clarity and more best practices which can be used across industries.
Yeah, good.
Can I add something to
Sure.
this point? You see, manufacturing industry, especially the steel plant industry, is more of big investment and lot of labor involved. Manpower is huge manpower. So there, if managers and engineers and the teams are not given proper direction and goals, then the steel plant which want to achieve something and good business and good production and quality production and to stay competitive in the market, that is not possible without goals and objectives. So 1985, when I was assistant manager, after 4 years also we got it from our manager, but the stage there and now it is same concept, but thing is step by step it has incrementally improved a lot, and more transparency, more this thing is brought in and more systematic, but the same objects and goals were given at that time also. Thank you.
Yeah, great.
And Vardhan, it might be like the way we might be already doing it. See, half the times we say like SLAs, right? Or the timelines. So instead of that, now we are using it OKRs as like another way to define and measure and track the way we can do the progress instead of just going with the typical KPIs.
Yeah. Right. Let's look at it as inspect and adapt part of Agile.
Sort of, yes, it is continuous
Software
improvement
is inspecting
and
adapting from other industries. Great.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks,
okay. Thanks everyone. Thanks for your time.
Well, Satish,
Thank you, everyone.
I guess
Have a
this
great
was the
weekend.
most interactive session all through. It was Satish and the participant session, in fact, here. Yeah, and this is what we look forward for. Tools and techniques are the ones that we use day in and day out, isn't it? That's the objective with which we started a separate section altogether. And as you said, Satish, we have just touched the surface here. And I'd ask everyone to provide your feedback in the LinkedIn post, because we would want everyone to understand more about OKRs. Not one knows everything. We have heard a lot of tools being used by other folks as well, say Profit.co or maybe in Jira, maybe AHA, whatever. talk about it, let the others know, and that's the what do you say? In the OKR, the objective is to learn more. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. And in fact, I'd like to thank everyone here for being such a wonderful audience. Satish, in fact, has done other sessions also earlier. Maybe you'd want to look up the PMI PCC YouTube channel for JIRA reporting and other things, which were equally well appreciated and accepted. So let's look forward to, what do you say, many more such sessions. And we'd love to hear what other sessions you'd want from us as well. Okay. And of course, we would want you to be the facilitators too. Come up. Let us know. Okay. All right then.
Yeah, thanks Suma and Satish for a wonderful session.
Thanks, Suma. Thanks, Satish.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you so much, Satish. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have
you.
a great
Satish.
rest of the week.